on the north side before you started up the back grade.
Oh, yeah, I've been by it.
Uh-oh. You know, I told you you should have paid those tickets.
We are on the air now, and I think we have plenty of our wonderful police presence that just arrived, so I think that means we are to call the meeting to order and get started here, and I want to welcome everyone this evening. Would you like to join us in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mary, roll call.
Olson.
Here.
Collins.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Kellum.
Here.
Kupczynski.
Here.
Kilburn.
Here.
Okay. Looks like everyone in the back is ready, and we have a great presentation this evening, and this is a life-saving award. And Chief Latanzio, would you like to bring up? I see you got your captains and lieutenant here, and you've got the whole force with you.
Who's on the jury?
Yeah. Not all of them, but.
Yep. See the green light.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. Tonight I have the pleasure to recognize Officer Jason Camillo with a Life-Saving Award. Will Officer Camillo please come up here? On May 17, 2015, shortly after 1500 hours, Officer Camillo was working at his report writing station. Officer Camillo was contacted by Clerk Tony Stewart, who was in distress. Clerk Stewart tapped him on the shoulder to get his attention because she was choking. Officer Camillo was unaware of what was causing Stewart to be in distress, as she was not speaking to him. Officer Camillo then realized Stewart was choking and was giving him indicators that she was not able to breathe. Officer Camillo recognized the universal distress signs of choking, placed Stewart into the proper Heimlich position, and gave her 3 forceful abdominal thrusts. Officer Camillo heard something expel from Stewart and soon found a large piece of meat that Stewart had been eating was now on the floor. Stewart's breathing was raspy after clearing her airway, and medics were called to check on her, and she was transported to the hospital. Officer Camillo was able to recognize the universal signs of choking person in distress, and then put his years of first aid, CPR training into use when an emergency occurred. Officer Camillo's quick response and application of the Heimlich maneuver saved Clerk Stewart from a life-threatening event. Congratulations.
Wow.
I'd like to present Officer Camillo with the Life-Saving Merit Award, honoring his humane action by providing abdominal thrust to a choking coworker. Jason's quick actions and knowledge of first aid and training saved the life on May 17, 2015. Is your medal, and that's for you to wear in uniform. And then you also get a certificate. Congratulations.
Okay, well, thank you so much. And so Tony, I'm curious, was it you? Okay. No idea. So we're so glad that you're still here, but thank you. But thanks, everyone. So that's wonderful. Great training, and I hope if I'm ever out to dinner that, you know, he's around and he doesn't ever choke or any one of us.
I'm sure if you just take him with you.
We might have some people that let us choke.
I'll take a free
Yeah.
dinner with you.
So thank you so much. Yeah,
That's cool.
Thank you, Chief. Yeah, odds are he'll let us choke. Yeah, so that's wonderful. That's great too, that seeing our, you know, officers show up and be able to support their fellow worker, so great department. Okay, next, council is, and you do have kind of a handout out on this. This is seeking council's endorsement for the American Legion Post 10 to pursue a flag city designation for the city of Albany. And we have Post 10 Commander Steve Adams here. So, Steve, would you like to come forward and come up to the podium? And the microphone's pretty good at picking you up. And if you can also, for the records, it'll pick up your name and your address.
My name is Steve Adams. I'm commander of American Legion Post 10 in Albany, and I live in Albany on 2131 Three Lakes Drive in Albany. And according to the county veterans office here, there's 11,676 veterans in Lynn County. According to the census, there's a little over 116,000 residents in Lynn County. The city of Albany takes up pretty close to 42% of that. Our proposal is, in the congressional record dated July 27th, 1999, it is stated that Redmond, Oregon is known as Flag City, USA, as stated by Representative Greg Walden on the floor of the House of Representatives. Redmond's claim is that they have over 697 flags that have flown over the nation's capital. I would like to propose that Albany become a flag city, but with a different twist or theme. That we encourage businesses, citizens, and all civic organizations to fly our flag on all 10 flag holidays of the year. And they are President's Day, third Monday in February; Armed Forces Day, third Saturday in May; Memorial Day, last Monday in May; Flag Day, June 14th; Independence Day, July 4th; Labor Day, first Monday in September; Patriot Day, 9/11. I'm sorry, I lost some friends in that one.
I'm sorry.
Election Day, first Tuesday in November. Veterans Day, November 11th, and Pearl Harbor Day, December 7th. I am in the process of contacting all of the senators and representatives, and along with Will Tucker, Lynn County Commissioner, to ask for flags that were flown over the nation's capital. I will also be contacting all veterans organizations, civic organizations, to ask for their support. I talked to Randy Martinak, the director of Lynn County Veterans Memorial Association, this morning, and he fully encourages us to do this. So we're pursuing it. My goal is to have 5,000 flags flying in the city of Albany, to include government buildings, veterans organizations, civic organizations, and private homes. The cost is minimal, only a flag and a means to fly it. The cost to the city is zero. The people that want to fly a flag, unless it's given to them or donated to them, are going to have to purchase it and a means to fly it. The Legion Post, at the last meeting, I proposed this, and they come up with, if we have a veteran or an older person that wants to fly a flag but cannot physically put up the means to do it, we will donate the time, material, and manpower to do it for them. And I'm looking for some other volunteers from other organizations to help us with that. We take pride that our community is known as patriotic. Our Veterans Day Parade and our Memorial Day observances are examples of that. I will be contacting the Chamber of Commerce, who put the flags out downtown down here, and working with them and see if we can expand their program a little bit also. It's going to be a community effort here one person or one organization cannot do it. It's too expansive. Is this something that's going to happen in the next 30 or 60 days? No, it is not. It's going to take time to do this. What I'm asking for is for the City Council's endorsement that we pursue this, and this will go a long ways in helping us promote it also, if the City Council promotes it.
Okay, yeah.
Are there any questions?
Yeah, the only thing, the flags that are placed downtown is done through the Boy Scouts, Boys and Girl Scouts, and
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
through the Downtown Association. They were the ones that made sure we got all the flagpoles purchased and all that. So it's not the Chamber of Commerce. So if you want to
Okay.
contact them, be the Downtown
I
Association.
stand corrected there.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think this is probably wonderful, and, I mean, this is something we could probably bring back as a resolution supporting this as being a Flag City USA, but Council, what would you like to do?
Move to approve, second, whatever it is.
Okay, so, have it down in a regular legal form of a resolution?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, all right, okay.
And just to comment,
Yeah.
on one of the days, I think it was Memorial Day, I was going through Redmond, and as you're approaching Redmond from Sisters, the number of flags and the frequency of the flags along the state highway there
Yes.
really catches your attention, and it says there's something special about this. And on the opposite end, just recently, I think it was the 4th of July coming through Albany, I looked for flags and there weren't very many.
Yes, sir.
And, I thought, what happened to the leadership that used to put these out and the groups that used to take responsibility for them? And to the extent if there are some costs to have the pole wells replaced in the sidewalks along ODOT, then I would support the city putting those in to accommodate the flags being placed along Lyons and Ellsworth and along other state highways in the community.
I agree totally.
So ODOT has no problem?
I don't know what the restrictions are, just leave it to staff to find out, but you have to put the little triangle things in the sidewalk to receive the pole.
Yeah. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right, so Steve, we will have a resolution drafted up in our next council meeting in 2 weeks, and we'll take formal action on endorsing that for Albany to be a Flag City USA.
Thank you very
Okay.
much.
All
A little
right.
humorous story. This started with my Color Guard Honor Guard commander. Like I was telling Sharon, he came in my office and he said, Albany's a tree city. He's a retired Marine. He says, Albany's a tree city, right? Yes, sir. He said, it's an all-American city, right? Yes, sir. He says, well, then why in the hell can't we be a flag city? I don't know. Let's give it a shot. That's where this started.
Pat him on the back.
I will. He's great.
There's a correction to be made. There is no such thing as a retired Marine.
As what?
As a retired Marine,
That's
once you're a Marine forever.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to-
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Steve.
Thank you very much, and thank
Yeah.
you for your time. I appreciate it.
Yep, thank you. Okay, next on the agenda is business from the public. Is there anyone here this evening? So, nope, not seeing anyone. Okay, council, you have a resolution, and this one is authorizing the city manager to sign a property lease agreement with Greater Albany Public Schools for the use of South Albany High School community pool. So, and we have Ed. Did you want to come forward and talk about it, or council have questions?
I'll just answer questions if you have them.
Okay, there's a resolution on page 4. Yeah, Rich?
The amount of money we spend and the amount of money we receive, how close is that to being the same number?
Oh, well, if you take the entire aquatics budget, which includes the pool and the Waverly Boathouse, it's just under 50%. Cool this past year actually probably earned about 97% in revenue of its total operating cost. So that means the lion's share of the subsidy is at the ACP, which is pretty typical of indoor aquatic facilities that are not water parks.
Secondly, looking at the agreement, it points out that we are responsible for any problem that happens within the sidewalks and parking and that kind of thing. Is there an area that is ours, or is it just kind of part of the total backyard?
On the inside of the building, essentially, other than the shell of the building itself, we've got everything that it takes to keep the pool up and running is our responsibility, so anything that sustains the program. Outside, the only thing that we are really responsible for are the 7 or so parking spaces. And if they need to be striped and or signed, we're responsible for that. The rest of the facility is the school district's.
Okay, thank you.
Move for adoption of the resolution.
Second.
And kind of sort of some history on this is many years ago when this was under, management from the school district, it was always on the chopping block every budget time to close the pool. And so we usually had a lot of people in the room not to shut down, the indoor swimming pool. And so then it ended up, and it was hard for us to be able to, to subsidize it. So by taking this as sort of ownership now of it, staff's been able to make it more feasible for us, where it's not as a financial commitment as it used to be. So I commend you, Ed, and your staff, and Rob's done a great job of really keeping that pool in business.
Yeah, the credit's due to Rob.
Yeah, he's been able to keep it in business, so we're fortunate there. So, okay.
I think we have a lot of overnight events in that pool.
Yeah.
People come to town to overnight swimming events.
I'm sure that I mentioned it during our budget deliberations, but the meets at the pool that draw overnight stays of 2 to 3 to 4 nights, we have a few of those each year, and we conservatively estimate about $1 million to $1.5 million dollar impact on the local economy as a result of those few meets. So it's a pretty important facility for us.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, well, thank you for your hard work on it. So.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, with that, any other comments? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carried. All right, thank you, Ed. And next, you have another item, and this one is for replacing the restroom and at Bowman Park.
I guess the only thing I'll highlight is that we came to the council a couple of months ago seeking permission to apply for this grant. We, in fact, have received the grant, so we require the council's permission to accept the grant and allow us to sign related contracts.
That's wonderful. I really commend you for really seeking the grants, too, on a lot of our facilities that need replacement. So.
Well, I would add on this one, the police department was particularly supportive and really did appreciate their support on this grant application.
Move to accept.
Okay.
Second.
All right. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carried.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ed.
That was good.
Okay, next, council, is a small consent calendar, and if there isn't any items to be pulled off this evening, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Okay,
I was kind of wondering about that item 2 about workers' compensation.
you want that pulled off then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got a couple of questions on that one.
Okay, so there's been a motion to approve, not with item 2. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, item 2, and that's on page 20. Dick?
Yeah, I was wondering, under this item 1, where the only public safety people that are covering are the police cadets, police volunteers, and all the other of these, firefighters, emergency personnel, and so forth, apparently are not. So I was just curious about that.
Well, this coverage, Dick, is just for volunteers. It doesn't relate to, I mean, our regular full-time people are all covered under our normal workers' comp coverage. So this is just a special rider that we're required to do for volunteers.
So the police cadets are totally volunteer, where these other ones are not.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I was also wondering about item 5, that, well, actually, which one is it?
5.
One of the above are covered, but we're covered. But if we're doing manual labor, we're not covered. So it seemed kind of.
Well, you, all volunteers for the city, anybody that, the whole purpose of this is that any volunteer for the city who, does any of this kind of work is being covered through our policy, through our workers' comp policy. Fortunately, we don't have many accidents involving our volunteers, but
So they don't have to be covered by this because they're covered someplace else.
in some cases, yeah, that's true.
I just thought it was kind of ironic that we're covered when we're sitting around here, but if we're out helping clean up brush or pushing balloons around, we're not covered under this policy.
Yeah, no, you would be covered,
It would be,
yeah.
Right.
yeah.
That's what this does.
That's
This
what
is
5
identifying
that's what 5
that it
does.
would be.
Yeah.
Non-administrative duties.
Yeah.
So, yes, the answer is good.
Okay.
You're covered.
I'm not at all worried about it, I'm just I'm kind of straight.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I move for approval. Liz.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right. Next is on page 23, and this would be for reappointment to the Lynn County Local Public Safety Coordinating Council and for appointing Chief Fatanzio again.
Move to approve?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, motion carried. All right, Chief, you get to still serve for 4 more years. So you better not retire or anything. Okay, next item is recommending approval of expenditures of up $150,000 in the Water Economic Development Funds to facilitate fire line backflow device compliance. This came to us at the work session. And Chris, is this your item?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Mayor. As you mentioned, it was at a work session a couple of weeks ago. This is to facilitate replacement or upgrade of backflow prevention assemblies at on some private fire lines that we discovered as part of an audit within the city. So council requested this come back to a meeting for specific approval of this expenditure. This would come out of the Water Economic Development Funds, which has about $500,000 available this year.
Move the requested action on page 24.
Second?
All right.
Am I right that the city is paying for the backflow devices themselves?
Yes.
Saw a letter in the paper, and I think the guy was complaining about he was going to have to pay for some of that kind of equipment.
No, he was complaining about a different issue, that he has a fire line that he's having to pay for, a fee that's charged for having that line. And we've charged it, I think we've had several reports on this. Apparently our enforcement had been uneven. That was one of the reasons why we did the audit. In doing the audit, we also discovered that a number of these folks did not have backflow prevention devices. Rather than adding insult to injury, we thought it would be best if the city would cover the cost of the backflow prevention devices.
Thank you.
And Chris, did I remember correctly, those require an annual inspection?
They do.
And is that at the cost of the property owner?
It is.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carried.
What's the size of the charge? How much do we charge for the inspection?
It depends. Those are done by private contractors, and it depends on the complexity of the system. So a residential inspection can be $25 to $45. These more complex systems, they also are testing the fire system at the same time, so it's more expensive.
Sounds reasonable to me. Thank you.
For the record, I have a gentleman in my ward who thinks it's not only not reasonable, but it's $55 and. So, I mean, there is some consternation about it, let's put it that way.
It's not a popular
Yeah.
charge. You know, people, I think most people don't realize that they even have a backflow prevention device, and they really don't like it when they find out that they have to pay to have it inspected every year. Now, of course, it only applies to people that have, generally, it only applies to people that have like sprinkler systems and things of that nature where there's the potential for contamination of the water system. So, but again, it's not generally something that people yearn for.
What was the disease people died from fairly often, from municipal water before they started chlorinating it? Was it cholera?
Well, waterborne diseases, but there's also a variety of, contaminants that can get into a system. One of the big ones that's been in the news, the Baker City water system was effectively shut down, it was a year or two ago, from cryptosporidium contamination.
Yeah.
And when
Is that Legionnaire's disease?
No, that's a specific contaminant usually carried by either animals, domestic or wild. And, you get that little incident, it played out in Baker City, a town of about 10,000 people, and it basically shut the town down. I mean, all their industries, there was one company, I believe, that left town because of it. And it's a major, people, we take it for granted until something goes wrong. And when that something goes wrong, it could be really catastrophic if you
Backflow can add to that, can't it?
Well, backflow is a slightly different issue, but yeah, it's part of the whole process of trying to keep your water system relatively secure.
Well, cryptosporidium is in a lot of streams. I mean, out in the Tootle Sticks.
Just for the record, the requirement for a backflow device is a creature of state law, not one that we fabricate locally. It's required under the state plumbing code. So if you have certain types of facilities on your property, you're required to put them in. And we simply adopt that and we send it on to our customers.
So does all cities require that?
All
for anybody
cities,
that has a
are required to have a backflow prevention program, and
Okay.
all similar uses in each city would be required to have a backflow device. Now, whether they all enforce it equally or not is another question, but they're all under the same uniform plumbing code.
Well, and to give you an example, I mean, when I started as a young city manager, which that was a couple of years ago now, in Oak Ridge, which is not exactly a giant metropolis, we had such a program and we enforced it. That was 27 years ago, so it's not a new thing.
I love it when you tell Oak Ridge stories.
Yeah. Yeah. Ralph liked it when I talked about LeGrand.
Is there any other communities that do it in-house to be more cost-effective to the consumer or not? Or anyone that has other more cost-effective ways of servicing that type of product?
This is the same, the way we administer ours is the same way that I see it administered in other parts of the state. I don't know is the short answer to your question.
Yeah, so.
The list of contractors is actually generated by the state, isn't it?
They're certified
Yeah.
and published
So
by the state.
it's not us doing it, it's them doing it.
And we get a mailed notice every year from one of them, to time to redo it. And they'll just come out and automatically do it and send us a bill.
Okay.
Amazing.
Okay, all right, that's it, so thank
Thank
you
you.
on that, Chris. Business from the council, Bessie, anything?
I just want to say that I am not going to be able to attend LLC this year. My husband will be having his radiation treatment that week, and so I won't be able to attend. I left Laura a message and told Wes and stuff, but since the reservation's made, if anyone else is interested, because I don't know if there's going to be a penalty. I think we're soon enough to where there won't be, but it's already made if somebody else wants to consider it. I would suggest it, but that's all.
Going, yeah. Okay, Bill?
Nothing.
Okay, Dick?
No, thanks.
All right, Rich? Oh, okay, Ray? Floyd?
Paving's projected to start on North Albany Road on Monday. Will take several
Wow.
days, but contractor is moving quickly, and discussions with staff and with the contractor, they're anticipating making their opening for one lane, at least one lane traffic in each direction by the required date. So,
Wow, that's great. Boy, that's been a just perfect project, though. Everything's going right on schedule.
It's really complicated that Lindsay, Austin, and Chris Serkluski should get kudos for managing that project.
Oh,
It's been
yeah.
really
It's been
complicated.
nice seeing it on Facebook, too, to really get the word out. It's on updates, so that's been great.
Speaking of construction stuff, any updates possibly on the landscaping on the roundabout down on Old Salem Road?
Yeah, I think that it's scheduled to be installed in September, and then that project will be closed out, I think, at that time. Stacy's nodding, so.
Thank you.
Oh, I do have a question. I see the sheet here on our transit lodging tax, and I see that we're up quite a bit from last year for June. And are they raising their rates, or do they have more business, do you know?
They never let us know how many actual room nights there is. It's always just by overall dollars, so to us, it looks pretty good. It's really, real great. So that was a busy June, and
I doubt if it's Mr. Haugen's doing it.
so,
13%.
yeah, no, it's great.
This time, they gave credit to Mother Earth
Oh,
for a
that's
big
right.
chunk
Yeah,
of something that was at Expo and had a lot of people from all over. Matter of fact, they had 18 welding people's spouses showed up when I was at a meeting in Eugene. They says, well, what is there to do? And, well, Mother Earth News is in Albany, go see that. And they did.
this was in June, though, so they weren't here in June, were they? That was before Mother Earth. That's been a few months ago, hasn't it?
So they have shown up
Yeah.
in May and
Well, and I had heard they really enjoyed it here, so they're really trying to get them to come back, too. So, which I think would be great if they came back each year. But hopefully, so.
Certainly an eclectic group.
It brought in a lot of
That's the way to say that, I
folks.
think.
Yeah. No, I guess that is right. It was June 1st. So, Rich, that was in June. That was June 1st.
I know.
So, no, that's great. Okay, that was it, Floyd,
Yeah,
then,
that's it.
and I don't believe I have anything this evening, so.
Well, things are being moved into Novaks.
Oh, good, they were supposed to be getting open,
Oh,
so.
well,
Yeah, good.
I have room in my parking lot now
Uh-huh, oh, good.
that I didn't have for the last week.
Yeah, wow. No,
Still not
that's-
done, but
Oh, that's wonderful, yeah. And then bricks and mortar is really moving along. That's going to be great downtown, so, yeah. Yeah, it'll be the breakfast place to go. Wes, anything?
Don't have anything to add.
Okay, anything, staff have anything? So, wow, this is
Oh.
like a really quick meeting we're not used to, but this is great.
got busy.
So, we have Kara next week, Kate, right? Okay, Kara's next week, and then we have August 24th work session, August 26th
We have a
regular
work
session.
Next Monday, too.
Yes.
And we have work session
And the
next
joint
Monday.
meeting with the Benton County Commissioners on Tuesday.
Benton
Oh,
County.
Benton County Commissioners on Tuesday, so 3, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week.
Here or there?
Okay,
there.
great.
At what time?
We're adjourned.
4 o'clock.